Today on Wearing History, I have a quick little visual for you for the pocket piece for the 1940s wrap dress that's a house dress. This pocket is a little bit unusual. It's at the side hip. First, you've got a facing to attach, and then you've got to attach it to the dress, which involves easing in that curve so it fits the dots. You have to mark the dots on your dress. I've done it with thread marking. And the part that you would match is the bottom of the pocket before the ruffle is attached. Now, you do have to sort of ease it in. There's quite a lot to ease in, and that marking should match right there. Now, before you do this, of course, you have to put the facing on, and you need to leave the ends open for the ribbon. You need to make the casing for the ribbon, and then you start pinning this to place. Now, I do need to say, see how much I'm gathering this in? Vintage patterns of this era are somewhat notorious for the markings being a little bit off. So if you find it does not meet your purpose, there's absolutely nothing wrong with adjusting those markings for the pocket pieces. This is an era in which there were patterns were unprinted with holes for markings, which means that a lot of times the dots distorted during the manufacturing processes. Because of this, a lot of vintage patterns are not terribly consistent. And so I've tried to do the best I could with the original source material to make it adaptable, but this just means that you may need to adjust the pocket markings a little bit. I've left them as is for here, and I could get it to wiggle in, but it took a little bit of fussing. So you can see right now I'm just wiggling it in with my fingers, trying to ease it in without getting any puckers, trying to get it smooth-ish, but also to where I know that I can get that to go into place without having tucks. Now, the hardest part is going to be the bottom of the curve, so I'm looking for my markings and I'm wiggling it up and pushing it into place so that it will hopefully be where it wants to be. Now, like I said, you need to adjust these, absolutely no problem. You don't like the pocket on your hip, you want it more towards the front of the dress, no problem at all. It's an easy thing, you just wiggle it on over, and because it is a wrap dress, that means it's easy to lay flat on the table. Now, in the instructions it has you do this after you've assembled the front. I don't find this to be the easiest thing because it lays right up next to the seam line, so I have done mine after I've entirely assembled the dress. So if you want to, do what I did. It made it a lot easier than having to worry about getting anything tucked into that side seam, especially with that ruffle. Okay, so anything else to note? The pocket facing itself needs to be stitched to place by hand. It does not reach the bottom of the pocket. It's just a really, really wide facing. Now, after you've pinned this, you're going to stitch it right where my finger line went. I do it on the pocket itself, not on the ruffle. And you're going to go slow and take your time. And then after you're done, you can pull in your ribbon and then tie a bow like I was wiggling my fingers. This is it when finished. I hope having a verbal explanation helps a little bit because it is somewhat hard to visualize sometimes just from the flat illustrations. Find the pattern on Wearing History on Etsy and wearinghistorypatterns.com. Thanks.